So now what we're going to do is actually go into, and I'm just going to bring it up on my screen. Whoops. We are going to go into looking at what you actually need in your website, because we've done kind of, for me, the most important part, like what's behind, who are we speaking to, what are the images we're going to be using. But now I want to look a bit at structure and what we need on our website so that people have all the information that they need. So I'm just going to share my screen. Hopefully it's the right one this time. Please let me know if it's not. So you should see something that says website layout, but I've got multiple things open because what I want to do is refer to my own website as we go through it. So the first thing you want to have is a welcome page, and you want that to be directed at the clients with links to different parts of your site. So you've all identified somebody, a client that you want to be working with, but maybe you want to be working with that client, but you also only were working with kids or palliative care or something like that. And so your website is going to reflect that. It's not going to be a general website devoted to everybody. It's going to have different sections in. So for example, my website comes down, and actually I'll just say, I've got a few more words to say about it, I just realized. So I used to have a logo here, and what I found is much more potent for search engines and for people coming to my website for the first time is a short description of what I'm actually offering. And so this allows people to immediately go, it's me, or it's not. I'm going to go over here. So allowing that, and you may want to use some of the language or the things to pull people in that you've identified from your statements today, if you want to take this approach. But I have found it to be very effective in kind of pushing me up in Google, having this statement at the top. I also have some of my words. So I asked you to kind of have these 5 words. I have empower, heal, inspire. And so those are kind of the grounding words for me of, again, pulling people in. But this is what I wanted to come to, is what kind of support are you looking for? Many therapists focus on, I'm this therapist, I do this, and there is nothing wrong with that. However, imagine it from the client perspective. They are coming here searching for something. If you are immediately talking about yourself, you're not really in service, right? So it's like, what kind of support are you looking for? So we've got individual, online group therapy, or online therapy training for therapists. So again, I'm really identifying with each one, and I've got specific images that work for each of them. And I might not say I'm working primarily with women one-to-one, but the image I've chosen evokes that, right? So it's like, you're also choosing images. You might choose your own artwork. So it's really up to you. Then I've got a welcome video, which we'll do in week 4. And then I've also got things about me speaking. If I've got any kind of links, I've also got links to groups that are currently happening. I mean, this is actually paused right now, but so that people can instantly scroll down and think. And then I've got my images from my board. So you get to see, and this was a huge turning point for me with working with women. Before, I was attracting very different kind of clients. And as soon as I did this, it was like, boom. I started to attract a very specific type of person to my practice. And it was like, oh my God, my work is really aligned. So yeah, so that's that. And then I have questions, and I have the piece that you just did, but a little bit elaborated. So I work with people just like you, and then talking about what I do. So very kind of basic, showing you. But that's the opening page, very, very focused on the client and them approaching. What do you want? What do you need? The language you're using is talking to you, right? We're not like, I'm a therapist who does this, I might be able to help you. It's like, you might be feeling like this, right? So there's a shift. There's a shift in actually speaking directly to the potential client. Okay, so then you also want to have an about me section. My about me section is a bit hidden right now, so I have to do something about that soon. But what I want to invite you to do is have some kind of photo, and then, you know, a brief kind of bio about who you are, the tools that you use, and that kind of thing. The thing that I want to bring attention to is these. If you are on the Kata website, then put it as a link, because what we want to do is authenticate who we are. Many of the provinces in Canada are unregulated currently, not in Ontario, but many of them are. And so anybody can say, I'm a therapist. And so we want to have credentials and ways of actually connecting and showing, well, I went to school here, I'm registered here. If you teach anywhere, you might have that too. So I have links. So for example, if I click on this, it goes instantly to the Canadian Art Therapy Association. It tells people who I am and about my profile. So very, very useful. Also, if you've been on any podcasts, you've done any interviews, this is a great place to have them as well, so people can learn more about your work and who you are. So definitely have an About Me section. Then you want to talk about your services, groups, courses, individuals. What are you actually offering? And as you saw, I've done that at the beginning. So I'm like, are you looking for a group? Are you looking for individual? And then they get to click on that. And so you can do it multiple ways. You can have it in your menu, you can have it on your first page so that they're really quickly able to identify what they're looking for and get to the page that's speaking for them. You also want to have a page which is what is art therapy. And so I have that here. And because a lot of people come and they're like, I don't know what it is. So you want to talk. I have a little video which talks about what it is and my approach. Then I kind of say what happens in a session. I kind of go with some of the common things that come up. I'm not an artist, and kind of speak to these kind of pieces. So just useful for people to know. You might also just talk about what happens in a session, what it might be like to work with you, what kind of materials. Then you really, and this is really, really important in online therapy, is to have a section on your website that talks about the benefits and the challenges. Because what's very different about online therapy is we are kind of already, people are coming, how can I put this? People are coming to us and they're already engaging when they come on our website. So we need to be able to say, what are the benefits and what are the challenges? And if you are not sure about that, what that is, you're welcome to copy mine. I really don't mind. So I've got a video talking about it as well, but I've also got the benefits of online therapy and also the challenges, because we really need people to be aware before they make the choice and engage with us on this level. And I always check in with people when I do the intake for the first time. Have you read the challenges and the benefits of online therapy? You know, why is it that you want to do online therapy? And I'll talk more about this when we do that specific week on one-to-one therapy. But you're welcome to cut, paste, modify, whatever you need. But it's really important that we have this on our websites. You also want to have your sales page. And so the sales page can look like anything. I have developed a format which for some reason is very successful, and I will be sharing, and we'll actually be working on creating a sales page in, I think it's week 7, but don't quote me on that. And so I'll just show you briefly now, but I'm going to go over every single aspect and help you develop yours. And so this is my women's online art therapy. Immediately I put the price, which is quite shocking to a lot of people. They're like, what? But people don't like scrolling, right? They just want to know, is this going to work for me or isn't it? And so I have this, then I have a little brief thing about talking about it. And then I have a section which is, this course is for you if. And we're going to be working in one of the sessions directly for you to develop this for your website. So don't worry about kind of making it now. We're actually going to be doing this live in one of the sessions. So you get to walk away knowing what group you're going to do and having how to sell the group as well in an ethical way. And we also want to have links to services. Many people that come to your website are going to be in crisis, and we are not available 24/7. So on every page, you need to have help. If you are in crisis or need someone to talk to immediately, please go to the Worldwide Crisis Line. There's a link. If you're in Canada, visit here, here, here. So this is really, really vital because, yeah, who knows how many people will be saved if they actually had access to the right information at the right time. They're looking for a therapist, they can't find it, they don't really realize what resources. I also have this information in every single email that goes out because sometimes I'm not going to check my email for 2 or 3 days and I might miss something that's really, really important. And so I say, please have this on your website. Not even like you don't need to cut and paste this. You can have your own, you can find your own crisis resources. But what is going to work for your clients that they are able to see this information and go, right, I can call these people and then maybe in a long term I can see the therapist. Or they might get different resources, but we want these people to get help. So really, really important to have on your websites. Okay, so this is what it looks like behind the scenes. If I edit my site, then this is what it's going to come up like. And if I go to, let's say I have a lot of courses on here, but let's say I go to this week of the online course. And let's say I just put in this right now, but let's say I wanted to put in another piece of text saying, here are the videos, and maybe I want to put in an image as well. So I just drag and drop. I can upload an image from my computer. Let's say I just want this abstract painting. Oops, I see Jen's here. And it will upload. So you can see it's uploading, but it's taking some time. But there's all kinds of things I can do. So I can put text in, I can put images, gallery. I can also make my own buttons. So like contact me or press here for access to whatever. I can embed codes. I can put spaces in. I can also, so every week I'm uploading the videos. So I actually just drag and drop. I upload them into YouTube and make them private because it saves space for me on my computer. And so I just drag and drop them. And then in order to do that, I just come here, I click the URL, I just put it in, and then it uploads. And it's that simple. So it's really amazing to be able to just build like this and have this really simple way of doing things. And for me, it's been amazing at being able to change things by myself. And not everybody wants to do this. And so, you know, if you don't feel aligned, that's also okay. There's multiple people that can help you. But if you are like, wow, actually, I think I can do that. And it obviously doesn't need to be as complex as this. You have to remember that I've been doing this for like 7 years. So you're seeing all the behind the scenes stuff with it, but you can just go to pages. I can go and I can say, okay, this is my foundation on week 1. Visibility, I can have members. I'm going to choose who can see the page, if they've like paid, if they're part of a group. So you can get like things in it that you might not be able to get otherwise. And this is, so on Weebly, there's lots of different memberships. There's a free one. This is not a free one because I wanted to be able to have memberships and people being able to see certain pages and not. But if you're just beginning, I would recommend, trying out the free versions and seeing if you like it. But yeah, so there's lots of different ways that you can, build pages, themes, and then also on each of these as well. It's really, hang on, let me just show. You can also have like the SEO settings. So I can write in the page description, the meta words. So if people are Googling art therapy, women, e-courses, course workshop, I've programmed it in. So that's going to come up in the search engines, and you might not be number 1, but the more people click, you are going to climb up. So using these things, these keywords within the SEO settings is really, really helpful for when people search